Okay, I've been using this for like what, 3 days now, and I'm using it. I'm getting things done. It's not exactly the quickest thing I can say, because my old desktop, of course, has the cube and some other stuff, and with the old GNOME 2 series, you know how it's heavily modifiable and you can tailor make it to your needs. And with this one, and I guess one big drawback I gotta say, it is very locked down. You can't right click and move, and stuff like that, and you can't move the dock. And but I guess they try to give back some functionality since it's locked down, and that has to be with the whole like text launcher and stuff like that. And one of the comments I had said that he likes it because it's integrated. And he's right. A lot of this stuff is very integrated. Like right now, I'm running my updates, and the little icon right here. I think if you hold down the button, it kind of separates the two windows. You know what I mean? So they do have like a lot of little tricks like that, but just trying to discover stuff like that can be a little bit of an issue unless you actually read up on it. And from a new user sitting down, they're not going to really see that right away unless they're just fiddling around and exploring and stuff like that. So that's not really a big deal. One thing, let me just minimize this for a second. Oh, I gotta talk about the Windows. An issue I've been having. I had a couple questions about bugs, and yes, I've been having quite a few bugs lately. One of them mainly being applications being launched. So say like if I launch like my appearance settings, and it probably won't do it, but it's happened to me a ton of times already. As you notice, like the whole Unity desktop has that new feature with the global menu. So when you maximize a window, how the upper title bar merges with the panel. Every so often, when you maximize a program, this upper the handle you grab, the metacity or metacity, even though the program is not maximized, what it will do, it'll launch, and your little window border will be behind the panel like that, and you can't grab it, you can't pull it down unless you know how to grab it with the alt button. So you can hold alt and left click and grab it, so so if someone's new and that happens to them, they're gonna be like, what the hell, but that's one bug, and I'm gonna have to be submitting these bugs, and I'm probably gonna do it tonight. So that's one bug I've been coming into. And another bug has been with the dock, and there's two bugs I found with the dock, and one of them is the moving of applications around, the little icons. Every so often, when you kind of like overlap it just a hair and you release, it'll lock it up a bit, and usually it'll lock up for a second or two, which is whatever, it fixes itself, I guess, or resets itself. But I've been using Kdenlive on here just to test the video decoding, and when I end my session with Kdenlive, the dock is completely non-responsive. Like my desktop is responsive. I can right click and left click and drag, and I can hit my launcher, but the dock for whatever reason does not respond, and that's after you end the session with Kdenlive. And I'm assuming since Kdenlive is based on Qt, that it might be a Qt issue, but maybe I don't know. So I'm gonna submit that bug. And also, I replaced my Evolution Mail with Postler, and I placed Empathy with Pigeon. I prefer those. And when I removed Evolution, it did something kind of odd, and it removed my calendar, my little drop-down calendar. It's gone. I can still change my time and date with this weird menu right here, but there's no more calendar. But I do have my Postler and my Pigeon, but whatever. So what can I say? It has a lot to go. It still has like a lot of work to be done, I guess, and for me, it's still a workflow thing that I'm not really too pleased with. I kind of feel a little bit restricted as far as like launching apps. If you know what you're looking for, and you're not too clumsy with the keyboard, and you actually and you're like familiar with keyboard shortcuts, is what I'm saying. Like if you're a keyboard type of person, then Unity should be just fine. You know, I don't see a really big problem with, you know, launching stuff with your keyboard and stuff like that. But if you're a person that kind of likes, that's kind of casual and just likes to use the mouse and just kind of click here and click there, you know, even though this dock is real friendly, you know, you can just click on it and whatever, just, you know, navigating a little bit can be a little bit much, you know, a little bit more than what's necessary. But that's just my little opinion, I guess, you know. But how can I say this? Like, me being, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a horrible speller. So sometimes when you type, like, say, like G speaker, GES, okay, that popped up. But say like you just type, you know, like let's say GP SK, you know, let me, like, even though it showed up right here when you hit the G, but let's say like you're not really too familiar with the program is and you're kind of like fiddling around with spellings, like GIMP. So let's put like GIN, and then, you know, it does show it, but sometimes, you know, you might misspell something, you're not really too sure. So like, let's say Firefox, so how can I, like, you know, botch that up? Maybe like just Fox. So Fox, and it doesn't show Firefox, you know. So stuff like that. Oh, sorry, I had to pause it for a second. Well, you see what I'm saying, right? Like, if you're not familiar with applications and you're just kind of like not too sure what the spellings are, you can kind of, and you're trying to use a text launcher, it could be a little odd, you know, unless you actually know, you know, the beginning letter, I guess, which it should be fairly easy, like G, you know, or F for Firefox, you know, stuff like that. An application that I use, I can't remember the name, I'm sorry, but I think it's called something with an S. I can't remember the name, but I think the back end of it was Zeitgeist, and Zeitgeist does a good job of monitoring your I guess keystrokes and like what apps you're using and whatever, and it gives really good suggestions of what you're trying to spell and what you're trying to look for, you know, in categories and stuff like that. So, you know, and if maybe this does have it, maybe there's an update I'm not seeing yet, but that's a little bit of an issue. That's something I noticed right away when I'm trying to use the text launcher. The one I'm used to, you know, even though I'm misspelling or have a, you know, a mistype, it does seem to know what I'm looking for, and it does suggest, you know, what I'm looking for. But this one doesn't seem to do that very well yet. As far as like, what can I say? Did I talk about Flash already? I'm not too sure. Well, anyways, I'll just go over it again just in case I forgot to talk about it. Flash playback is great. I have not seen a crash just yet. HD flash playback, as far as you know, the highest one they have right now, I believe it's 1080. And that one for me, it doesn't work because of my, I'm assuming because of my hardware. My hardware isn't great on this laptop. It's not the worst, but it's not, you know, the latest and greatest. But other than that, the other settings of Flash work fine, and it works fine on both Chromium and Firefox. And video decoding, I'm having some issues with it. Earlier, yesterday, I decoded some videos, and it was cool. It was a positive thing. It was actually went pretty quick, and I was impressed. Then I decoded one today. I think it's in my videos with transcoder, just to see, because that's what's in the software center. And if I double click it, you know, bam, that happens. Even though it decoded it, it's still giving me an error, and that wasn't happening before. So maybe there was an update I just did that caused that problem. I don't know. So that's it. Then again, it's still a beta, so I can't really just be, you know, I can't assume that it's busted right now, because they're still working on it. But that also happens for me today. But yesterday it was fine, but today it just happened. Anyways, what else can I talk about? The dock. I don't want to make this video too long, because I know I'll probably run out of time soon. But I had a question about also the comp settings, so let me just jump right into it right now. So comp COMP, there it is. Okay. right here, like I said before, the dock is locked down. You can't do too much with it, but there is some stuff you can do, and it's in your Unity settings, your Unity plugins right here. Basically, you can dodge the windows or keep it, locked, I guess, right there, or you can dodge the windows and whatever. As far as like looks and appearance, there's not much. So when you launch an application, I'm gonna put it on, let's say, pulse until running. So I click it and it does a little pulse, then that's it. Or you can put blinking or something, blink. Then you click on it and it should blink. Okay. And also, I guess a good thing, like they do offer some panel transparency right here on top. And you can't, it's locked down. You can't move anything. You can't add anything, which is a big negative for me. But you can upsize and downsize the dock icon, and that's something I'll, if I do choose to use this, I'm going to be using, because it depends on how big your screen is too, so that does work. At least they thought of that, that's a good thing. And again, you're urgent, like say like my updates is updating and everything's installed, the warning will be like a wiggle or a pulse to let you know, hey, I'm done, kind of a thing. And also like your standard eye candy right here, your basic Windows, they took a lot out, and at least they left some of the good ones, but they took a lot out, and that's bad for me. But then, like, this is just cosmetic, so I can't really bash it, but it's just kind of sad to see some of the stuff that I like go, and yeah, and you can still adjust it, you still have your little settings and stuff like that, so that's still there. And also they have the Unity grab handles, and you click enable and you enable, grab a key combination. I'm gonna hit super space, now hit super space, and there you go. You can, like, grab your windows a little bit easier, from the corners or whatever. And it's cool. I mean, I can see some benefit for people who may have some needs, or maybe they have a touchscreen, that have a hard time, using the mouse maybe, or something that doesn't have the the fine hand movements. I guess they can probably learn a little hotkey and be able to grab their window a little bit easier. So that's a good plus. They're thinking, so that's awesome. So anyways, let me see if I got any updates, and I do. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and install these updates, and hopefully this will fix some of the bugs. And I guess I'll leave a report or something, or I'll leave some comments down below or something if everything's okay. And if I don't, then I guess you know. And then another thing I want to say about Banshee, it's very crashy. I have an older iPod and I plugged it in, and when I plugged it in, it recognized it and wanted to start the sync feature, and I let it do its thing, and I pretty much minimized it, and it just died. Just took a crap. And I tried it again, unminimized, and it did the same thing. So there's still some stuff to be worked out. But that's it, really. If you guys have any questions about, or you want me to try something, let me know and I'll do it. Alright? So, thanks.